Asagao Academy Normal Boots Club.
Greetings, weary travelers! Pull up a seat! Shirahime here with a brand new LP! Actually, someone just told me about this today. And it was just so weird and off the wall. I'm like, I gotta try this. I gotta see what this is about. Because I recognize some of the YouTubers that are in this. You might have too if you saw the intro there. And I don't know, this just seems like it would be really fun. I've looked up a little bit about the game. And about the creators and everything. One of them did all the art and stuff, by the way. They did a fabulous job from what I can see so far. Okay, well this is gonna keep playing music, so let's go to play. Oh, it's gonna start right away, shit. Okay. Chapter 1. I just wanted a second here to talk to you guys. Alright, I don't think it'll go further, so I can talk for a second. Okay, so this is... I've never played a dating sim on this channel, so this is definitely a first. Although, apparently it's more like a visual novel. They wrote like an entire huge-ass story for this thing, which is what I'm most excited about, honestly. And of course, you know, I know some of the YouTubers that are in this, so I'm gonna have a good laugh or two, I'm sure. I have no idea who to go for either, so I'm going to ask you guys about that. You tell me along the way, like, who you think I should go for, because I have no idea at this point. Although, all I've heard apparently is there's one that's supposedly a really easy route, and one that everyone's telling me not to do because he's a jerk, and it's apparently the hardest route, which kind of makes me want to do it, but I'm not gonna make that decision just yet. Okay, so let's get started here. Chapter 1. Apparently we're on a train. Alright, train, let's go. The train made its way along the gentle curve of the coast of Japan, whisking me farther and farther from home. So we're in Japan. Alright. Across from me sat a boy, face half buried in a newspaper. He was deeply entranced in whatever article he was reading and hadn't spoken a single word to me, even when I asked if I could join him in the last compartment with any available space. He shrugged, nodded, and adjusted his newspaper without ever making eye contact. It's been almost an hour, in fact, and he hadn't once looked at me. Devoid of conversation, I took instead to counting the buttons on the pretentiously lush carmine seat cushions. 1, 2, 3, 21, 22, and so forth, over and over. Well, this is a really exciting train trip. Now and again, I turned to look out the window where the trees were blurring by. Sometimes the smeared green would break and reveal the quiet blue of the Sea of Japan. Eventually, this rapidity made my stomach churn, and I went back to counting the buttons on the seat cushions. Okay, I can totally relate to that. Good God, I get motion sickness too. I feel ya! 1, 2, 3... 21, 22, 23. The train compartment shuddered around us. My eyes wandered to the boy and his jacket. It wasn't the school-issue blue that I and the other students on the train were wearing. Instead, it was a green, varsity-like jacket with an embroidered patch poorly sewn on the front. Okay, I think I know who this is. Why is he sparkling? What the Okay, yeah, okay, dating sim, okay, the guys are apparently going to sparkle. Alright, Edward Cullen, let's go. So, you're a first year then. He folded his newspaper neatly, set it in his lap, and looked at me with a half-interested gaze. Did he just catch me staring? Oh shit, quick, start counting the seat cushion buttons again. Now that the paper was gone, I saw his face. He watched me through heavy-lidded eyes. His hair was immaculately groomed, his teeth straight and blindingly bright. There was something about him, the way the light hit him, that made him look like he was almost... sparkling? No, he's actually sparkling. There are sparkles. Me? He glanced around the compartment, empty besides us, and laughed. Oh... no, I'm not a first year. I'm a third year. The train began to slow, metal wheels groaning against the metal tracks. The sudden shift threatened to rob me of whatever was left in my stomach, but I closed my eyes and took a deep breath, willing myself to keep it together. What kind of impression would I leave, puking on a student before I even arrived at the academy? These are seriously the kind of worries I would have. The boy frowned. I picked at the hem of my cotton skirt. That's not possible. Never seen you before. It took me a moment of mouth fishing to find a response. It's because I'm a transfer student? He laughed again. Yeah, well, how about I laugh at you and your sparkles? Laugh at me, I'm not funny, shut up. Transfer student, huh? We don't get many of those. I removed my acceptance letter from the front pocket of my uniform. The paper, heavyweight, off-white, had accumulated creases from my reading and rereading, as if the words might have changed since the last time I read it. The boy took it, studied it, then handed it back to me.
I'll see you around.
Well then, Hannah, I suppose I'll be seeing you around. Yeah, apparently this is partially voice acted by the actual YouTubers that this is centered around, which is really interesting. I mean, they obviously don't voice all their lines, it seems, but little things, so that's interesting. He smiled at me as he picked up the suitcase lying next to him. By the time I hiccuped a response, he was already gone from the compartment. I stared out into the empty hallway of the train. It was then that I realized he, having gotten it from my acceptance letter, knew my name, and I never got his. I think I have an idea who he is, though. The train settled at the station, and I filed out with the rest of the uniformed students. It was early April, and the last frost of winter had come and gone. The trees were already green, their leaves shivering in the occasional gust weaving through them. The air was mild, only a few clouds hanging in the sky. I walked along the road with the swarm of blue-jacketed bodies, looking at the little groups breaking off from the crowd. Everyone was buzzing so animatedly around me. I held my suitcase tight in my sweaty hands. It was leather-bound and worth more than anything it contained. It wasn't far to the school, and I was, for maybe the first time in my life, thankful that what I owned didn't amount to much. My school-issue black Oxfords click-click-clicked on the pavement. I walked this walk over and over in my mind. So many nights I lay awake, imagining what it would be like to walk from the train station to Asagao Academy for the first time. My new start. I always imagined that everything would change for me on this walk. That somehow everything would be magically different. But as I looked around, I realized nothing had changed. I hadn't changed. By the time I reached the massive gate to the academy, I forgot all about the disappointment slouching in the back of my throat. The school, framed by the gate's twisting black metal, was just as beautiful as the glossy photos I saw in pamphlets. This was it. Asagao Academy. I glanced around. The swarm of students gathered around the gate. Beyond it, tiny blue people bounced around the academy's main building. A girl pressed a button to one side of the gate. The excitement in the air was almost palpable. A few moments later, the black gate, with great effort, creaked outwards and cleared the pathway. As the rest of the group shifted into motion, I followed along, a sheep in the herd. My stomach tied itself into knots. I just gotta say, the music and the artwork and everything, wow! Wow, they did amazing with this! I heard there was a Kickstarter or something, and damn! This is just beautiful. Beautiful! Okay, sorry. I'm breaking in the story here, but hey, I'm allowed. The crowd split off in different directions. For a moment, I panicked. A tired-looking man with graying hair called out for first years. A cluster of fresh-faced students gathering around him. I just thought of Harry Potter and Hagrid. He didn't have graying hair or anything, it just made me think of that randomly. First years over here. Hey, look at that girl! I turned. A few feet away, a small group of boys were pointing at me and snickering. Oh no. Pink hair? Are you kidding me? Okay, just a second here. When I saw Hana the first time, I kind of flipped out because a long time ago, like, I was making this manga thing back in high school, and I had a main character with short pink hair and a blue blazer for their school-issued outfits. It just for a minute there, I was kind of like, whoa, taken back a few years. How desperate can you get? Excuse you? Hot shame crawled down my neck. I attached myself to a group of girls, following a few steps behind them. In the distance, cicadas hummed in time to my shoes crunching against gravel. My hair. It wasn't my fault that my hair looked like this. Luckily, I found myself at the girls' dormitory, a large sign on the lawn reading Primrose House. The building dwarfed me in size and sheer intimidation. How many students did Asagao have? As I approached the building, a red-headed girl lingering nearby caught my attention. Okay, I'm a little creeped out now. Holy shit. You know, I just mentioned that thing about the old manga of mine. There was also a long, red-haired girl with green eyes. I shit you not. I can't remember what her name was, but I should show you guys pictures, but I don't know how to edit those in on my crappy software. Okay. As I approached the building, a red-headed girl lingering nearby caught my attention. I looked away, then looked back. She was staring at me. Hi. She walked over.
Oh, you must be my roommate!
How can you tell? Did you know your roommate had pink hair? I mean, okay. I'm a little weirded out. I eyed her warily. She was smiling and bouncing in a way that suggested her views on life were akin to a perpetual bouncy castle.
What?
Me?
Bingo.
Of course, you silly. Let me guess. Room 325? I thought back to the paper I received a month prior with a list of all the supplies I needed for the year and my dorm arrangements. Yeah, that's right. She laughed, but I couldn't figure out what was so funny. Was she laughing at me? When I found out my roommate was a transfer student, I knew you were going to be a total main character. I knew... What? You broke the fourth wall and I'm barely like 15 minutes into this? Are you kidding me? Total main character. Okay. I'm sorry. What? Yeah, I'm a little weirded out here. Just a little. When I saw you outside the gate, I knew it was you. I mean, look at that hair. Main characters have pink hair now. Is this a thing? I felt a lump forming in my throat. What was she talking about? She had to be making fun of me. I hadn't spent more than 5 minutes on campus and I was already being mocked. My hands began to tremble. Okay, I'm really relating to her so much. Taken back to my school days, man. Is there something wrong with my hair? Her face slackened from its amused smile to a more worried expression. Then she began to laugh again.
Oh, no. It's great, I'm sorry. We're getting off on the wrong foot, aren't we? Oh, gosh. I'm Mai Sasaki. You must be Hana.
Wow, it was all voice acted. Cool. I bowed my head.
Hello.
It's nice to meet you, Mai. Well, she seems pretty cool so far. All your school books are waiting in our room with your welcome letter, and I read the envelope. I hope you're not mad. I started walking toward the dorm's front doors. I followed behind like a lost puppy. That would totally be me. Did you check in the front desk already? No, I didn't. I didn't know I was supposed to. Good! They'll offer to have a staff member give you a tour of the campus, but I can show you around. We don't get many transfer students in year 3, you know. Oh, is that your only bag? Just the one? I'm glad I brought an extra bag of stuff to decorate our room with. I started already, I hope you don't mind. But I did wait to string the lights. I thought we could do it together, you know? Oh, this kind of makes me sad, you guys. When I went to college, I had a roommate and I almost never saw her because she was just out all the time. We never talked, we never got to know each other. It sucked! I want a roommate like Mai. She spoke quickly, the words bubbling from her mouth, and left me no time to answer until the end of her monologue. Yeah, okay. That sounds good. She held the front door open for me and I hurried inside. Woo, it's pretty! Wow! I like that color pink. It's like a powder pink. Girls filed up and down the hallway, howling greetings and exchanging vague niceties that were, more often than not, "How was your break?" and "Look at how tan you got!" I wouldn't be tan, I'd be white as a sheet. It seemed like everyone knew each other. Oh man, that would suck. Oh boy, I forgot she's a transfer student. Oh, that's gonna suck, this is gonna suck. Help me, Mai! Mai, help me! I followed Mai as she led me through the maze of students and up 2 flights of stairs. Each dorm floor looked the same as the last, narrow, white doors lining both sides of the pale pink walls. Thin, golden numbers were tacked to the front of each, the numbers rising as we climbed. You're not missing anything with the campus tour, I promise! Mr. Saitomo does them every year and he's like totally dull. He just drags you around the entire campus and talks in that weird squeaky voice of his. I'll tell you everything you need to know. I smiled, trying to let this calm my nerves. She is pretty calming in a bouncy, hyper way, I guess. Thanks! We headed down a hallway on the 3rd floor. Mai stopped us in front of a door number 325. Here we are! Dude! Oh, that looks nice! Wow. My dorm looked like crap compared to this. I'm sorry comparing this to my college dorm, but damn! This looks nice! Of course, I also did not go to some kind of big prestigious school, so that wasn't a thing. A faint smell of potpourri wafted through the room. The walls, like the hallway, were a soft, powdery pink. Well, pink looks a little bit different. Maybe it's the lighting in here. Mai already defaced them with a tapestry of posters, magazine cutouts, and photographs. Obsession, Helfenstein. Wait, I gotta read these. Tortured souls. Only my guitar understands me world tour. Oh my god, that's great. I love the guy in his underwear with the teddy bear. That's amazing. Mai, I love you already. You're amazing. Thank you for being my roommate. Some of the photos were of cats, but most were of male models and rugged musicians. A bunk bed, 2 writing desks with wooden chairs, a small dresser, and a mirrored vanity, all clearly provided by the school, were the only pieces of furniture in the tiny room. The top bunk was already covered in neatly tucked blankets and throw pillows of clashing patterns and colors. The bottom bunk had a single stiff-looking pillow and a thin cotton blanket that I didn't need to touch to know was horribly itchy. I must have grimaced because Mai quickly smiled at me. I brought way too many pillows and blankets. I always overpack. I went to Italy over break and Mom got really mad at me because I brought 5 bags and we were only there for a week. She laughed, pulled several blankets and pillows from her bunk and rearranged them neatly on mine. Wow, she's so nice, you guys! A sudden twinge of guilt and embarrassment hit me.
Perfection.
There, that's much better. Thanks, Mai. I placed my suitcase on the bottom bunk and began to unpack its contents. Several changes of clothing, pens and pencils, empty notebooks, a few photographs of my father, a dilapidated stuffed rabbit, an old portable radio, and a small black box. Mai opened the curtains and sunlight poured in. So, where are you from? I slid the now empty suitcase under the bottom bunk. About 2 hours north of here. It's a small town called What? How do it... Amari-Risu. Amari-Risu? Is that how you say it? Amari-Risu. You probably haven't heard of it. I set the stuffed rabbit, Mr. Bunny, on my bed beside a purple and teal throw pillow. Oh. Did you go to a different boarding school, or... No, I went to a public school down the street from my house. Public
Really?
school? She's so excitable. What was that like? Were the students mean? Did you have a lot of friends? I always went to private schools. My parents work a lot and my dad goes overseas, so I think they stuck me here for convenience. Oh, hey, what's that? I'd removed an ornately patterned origami crane from the black box and was setting it on the unclaimed writing desk. Oh, this? My mother made it for me a long time ago. I set it beside a stack of thick textbooks, which I assumed were provided for me.
Aww.
Wow, it's so pretty! I've never seen paper like that before. Oh yeah, the lights! Let me get them! Mai went to her own desk, opened the drawer, and pulled out a long tangled string of fairy lights. I thought these would look nice! Here, help me string them up. We put up fairy lights at Christmas time. They're awesome. She grabbed a container of push pins, then pulled her wooden desk chair out and over to one wall. I did the same with my own. Together, we pinned the lights around the perimeter of the room. How was the train ride over? Did you meet anyone? No, not really. I was in a compartment with some guy and...
What?
Some guy, huh? Was he cute? Yeah, I guess? I don't know. I wasn't really paying attention. I didn't even get his name. Mai seemed disappointed for a moment, then perked back up. You'll have to point him out to me if you see him again. So she kind of boy crazy? That's cute though. I like her. Oh, okay. Once we finished stringing the lights, Mai climbed down from her chair and brushed her hands together triumphantly.
Yeah!
Done! Okay, now it's time for lunch. The food here is pretty good. There's a ramen place down the street from campus that's like out of this world, but the school only lets us leave campus on weekends. Mai walked over to the window. We could go today because it's Sunday and it's pretty nice out, but I guess you might want to go to the caf since you just got here. We could... She was suddenly interrupted by her own enthusiastic laughter. Oh my gosh, Mimi Santos just totally tripped outside and fell on her face! I saw it! Wow, Mai, it's not nice to laugh at people. Okay, I've watched Funny's home videos before, I'm sure everyone has. We've all laughed at someone hurting themselves. Not judging too hard. Oh, is that mean to laugh? Maybe I shouldn't have. No, you know, I might have too, honestly. I don't know. Oh well. Anyways, let's go eat. I'm totally starved. She led me out of the room before I even had the chance to respond. The cafeteria was buzzing with students excited for the new year, and I think I ought to leave it here, guys. This is an introduction to Asagao Academy Normal Blues Club. And so far, the writing is so good. Like, damn, I feel like I'm reading a story. It's really cool. The music is amazing. I like the characters that have been introduced so far, and I'm sure we're gonna meet a lot more. Look at these backgrounds and everything. I mean, just damn. I'm pretty impressed so far, honestly. Well, we've only met one guy so far, so I can't really ask you guys who we should go for, can I? Unless you've already played and you want to put in your 2 cents of who you think I should go for, then I'm open to that, but... Alright, this will do it for our first video then, so... Next time, I guess we'll get something to eat at the cafeteria, and maybe we'll meet some new people, or something, I guess? I'm enjoying it so far. I hope you guys are too, so... Thank you guys for watching. Have safe travels, my friends, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.